Yeah, we're good. Chris, did you have dinner at the train station? Son, you don't have to go out. Everything was at once. And they go run it. You two run it, run there would be abolished public transit. Put a bomb in a trash can in the subway. So the president of Japan said, no traffic, nothing. So they need bags and trash. No trash. In the city, everybody settle down. Everybody settle down. This is not just for Mark Roger. All right. Okay, everybody. So here's what's going on. Please check your phones. Mute them. If any phone goes off in this meeting, it's a $50 fine. No question. So I don't care who it is, what? Well, it's disruptive. Fine. We want to put it in the coffers of our Rotary Foundation, okay? All right, so there's the end. You could write a check for all the fines if you'd like. Okay. By the way, those of you who are Zooming, I'm sorry we're running 2 minutes late because the food was so delicious that you missed that I needed my last bite. So good to see you, Mike. Good to see you, Chuck. And Marcia, always a pleasure to see you with the wings, a piece of wings behind you. Good. So let's move on. Welcome. Oh, I just welcomed you guys. So again, our theme until the beginning of July is the magic of Rotary. And the fact that you all showed up starts the magic, okay? Good to see everybody. Let's give a special round of applause for Nancy Cohen for being good leader. I really thought that it was going to be Ethan's permanent position, only because this is a way to get the young people here on time. But such is life. I'm glad you mixed it up, Jim. Bill Rowan is leading the Pledge of Allegiance. The flag is in the corner over there. Please remove your caps. To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you very much, Bill. Now, Aaron has a special thought of the day, and he asked me, and so we put on another slide. And by the way, magic. Oh my God, look at that. So cheap. All right, you ready?
So I asked Ben for an extra minute for the thought of the day, and for a small fee, my soul, he granted it to me. So thanks, Ben. So in a little while, we're going to hear from a wonderful human being, Miss Debbie Halliday. She's here today, and so to preface that, I wanted to talk about some impact that we're making together in the community. Those of you that know me know I work at the Y. I'm pretty shameless about it. I wear it on my chest, not my sleeve. But there's impact that's happening in our community all day, every day, not around things that we necessarily think about, but maybe we should a little bit more. So a couple years ago, the Y entered a partnership with the West Project and UCLA women's basketball to make some pretty deep impact in our community. You can see some photos up here. At the Y, we have a pretty strong belief in an initiative that we call Girls Equity in Sports. So essentially what that is we're creating access and opportunity and safe spaces for girls to play sports so they can develop confidence and physical skills. And we know all the great things that leads to success-wise later on in life. So you can see a couple things here. Our partnership is many levels. We provide free tickets to girls to attend, or really anybody attend UCLA women's basketball games. So seeing athletes in action inspires girls to want to play more. We have opportunity for face-to-face and hand-to-hand engagement through clinics that we have at the Y. This is a picture, that's a shameless one of my number one, the Frank that I have the fortune of living with. Attend a Selection Sunday last 2 years. This last year, UCLA women's basketball Final Four. Ooh, right, we love that. But really, what an opportunity to meet athletes face to face is an inspiration for kids to want to keep playing. And then, of course, ongoing skill development through accessible programs at the Y, right? The programs for everybody. Sports are free, right? And especially for girls, we want to really make it accessible. And then, of course, beyond the game, in life itself, we've got Girls and Women in Sports Day at UCLA, which meant girls get to learn about careers in sports beyond just playing the game. We run statistics, about 80% of girls stop playing sports by middle school. So we're here to stem the tide of that and really make a big difference. So I'm just going to share a few quotes by UCLA's coach, Corey Close. We've all heard of her, right? She's doing a phenomenal job. She says, tell me one person in history that did something special, that didn't embrace hard, right? When the pain of where you are is greater than the pain it will take to change, it's when you're onto something. Just keep showing up. See, that's a plug for showing up to Rotary.
There you go.
You might not know what to say, just show up. You might not know what to do, just show up. Relationships require investments. Keep showing up. So that's all for me today.
Well, that's a segue if I've never heard one. That's a hard thing to follow, Ed. But I know you can do it. Please come up. The song of the day. And we know, obviously, what could the hat that he's putting on, what do you think he might be wearing? One guess. Raise your hand. Tell me what you think the hat that Ed's going to put on. He can put on either a pink bonnet or what?
A surprise.
A surprise. Oh my God.
Could you stand for the song, please? And I thought it would be appropriate to sing I've been working on the railroad, and in the east we're building a railroad. This is a bullet train that started out at 2 billion, and it was supposed to be done by 2020. It's now up to 147 billion, and it won't be done until 2050. What a train.
I didn't hear a guess before he pulls it out.
Okay,
Aha.
this is the hat I wear when I ride trains in France. I've been working on the railroad all the livelong day. I've been working on the railroad just to pass the time away. Don't you hear the whistle blowing? Rise up so early in the morn. Don't you hear the captain shouting? Dinah, blow your horn. Dinah, won't you blow? Dinah, won't you blow? Dinah, won't you blow your horn? Dinah, won't you blow? Dinah, won't you blow? Dinah, won't you blow your horn? Someone's in the kitchen with Dinah. Someone's in the kitchen, I know. Someone's in the kitchen with Dinah. On the old banjo. Fee-fi, fiddly-I-o. Fee-fi, fiddly-I-o. Fee-fi, fiddly-I-o. Drumming on the old banjo. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Well, Debbie, this is going to be a hard act to follow. I got to tell you. I want to thank Diane Good for stepping up. She is the past president twice and is a president-elect. So she keeps on stepping up. Thank you, Diane, for all you do. Visiting Rotarians and guests of Rotarians. Chris, would you want to introduce? Well, I know Sharon's a member. She is, correct? But she's not here on a regular basis. So would you stand up and introduce Sharon, please?
To those of you who don't know, you might never have Sharon.
You know, Sharon, I think you should keep him around. He knows what to do. Exactly. Is there any other guests? Well, we know Shireen. Stand up. You're standing up. Introduce yourself. Let everybody know who you are. Ah, great. You know, I was wondering if you were AG next year. I didn't see that when we were in the district assembly. Maybe it was announced, but I didn't see it. So, thank you. I'm glad you are. This week in history, Mark Rogo. This is interesting, Mark. We put these slides on just because you wanted them. And also, you were talking about a banner. So why don't you do a twofer right now? Come up and, yes, we did. We did. I asked Tia to do it.
One of the two best gifts I've ever gotten
Is
from
me?
my daughter, the younger one who has a sense of humor. She gave me a Father's Day gift a couple years ago. It's a T-shirt. It says, "You don't scare me. I have two daughters." And the second great gift she gave me was this subscription to history. Every month, I get in the mail some kind of a document, a copy of the document, and then all of the background on it. And it's fascinating. It could be the note that Abraham Lincoln sent to General Grant for something. It could be the notice of the end of the Civil War. It could be something that Roosevelt wired over to the Secretary of State when Japan surrendered. Great moments in history. So that's what I was recommending. I get this every week. For this week, it just scrolls right through and shows you. Oh, okay. It just scrolls right through. What do I do?
You just click it right here. Yeah, it's right there. So if you want to go back, here, there you go.
All right. It tells you what took place in this week in history. And I sent it to President Ben. I thought it might be fun for the club members to see this every week. Now, one other additional thing. In different storage areas, let me preface this by saying, when I was in Japan, I told you I went to two clubs. I only found one banner. I finally found the other banner. So I'm presenting this to the club. But Diane and Ben and I, have recognized the fact that this club has 400 million banners from clubs all over the world that our members have visited to and brought back the banners. And I often thought, gee, what a shame, since our time in the Bel Air, I guess, we haven't seen these banners. Would you, as members, would you like to see some of these banners again and displayed?
So the question is, all in favor, raise your hand.
How much does it cost?
It's going to cost you double for that.
No, it comes out of general fund.
Like the true CPA.
Right. Gordon, it'll come out of general fund, but I think we have figured out a very inexpensive way, and we might try a prototype to see if the club likes it. And if the prototype works, then we'll do the rest of them. Diane has a bunch of them. Chris just told me he has some. Oh, Marcia. Yes, Marcia.
I have a question. Is somebody from our club going up to Calgary?
Yes.
Yeah.
Hey,
We
can
both
somebody
are.
bring a flag for me so I can send it to the speaker we had a month ago or so in France? He's asking for our club. He left us his banner.
Yes.
Yeah.
And he wants
Yeah.
the club, one of our banners for his club
Oh, okay.
Sure.
We'll
bring one.
We'll bring one for sure.
in Canada. Thank you.
You got
Okay.
it.
All right. We'll try a prototype, and if the club likes it, we'll get them all completed. If we can figure out an easy way to do it and store it over there, I think it'd be a great addition for our club to have these displayed and see the many places that our club members have gone over the years. Anyway, thank you.
Thank you, Mark Rogo. Watch your step. So on June 2nd, how about Babe Ruth? Look at this guy. Well, he was young and the best player in the world at the time. Do you ever know this story about, just give you a brief story. He would get off the subway every week to go to Yankee Stadium, go to a liquor store and show him a $10,000 bill. The guy could never change. One day, the guy says, your tab is now $2,500 and here's your change, Mr. Ruth. Because he thought he could get away with murder. Who has a $10,000 change for a $10,000 bill in 1935? Okay. Well, this man figured it out. That's just a bit of trivia. Okay. Now here is some birthdays. Let's recognize some birthdays. I've been remiss, so I asked Tia to ask Diane, and now here's the list. So we have May 3rd, Richard Thompson. May 4th is Carol Rosenstein. May 5th is our illustrious Ed Jackson, who's celebrating his 25th anniversary. What is your anniversary? What is the anniversary of your 25th birthday? How many years ago? Just kidding. That was a good question. You like that? Okay. May 12th is Eleanor Meyer. May 14th is Marcia Hunt. May 14th is Lynn Rogo. May 25th is Diane Good. And May 26th is Christine Clapper. Nice to. And anniversaries. 59 years Margot's put up with Tom. Can you believe that? But in all fairness, Tom is recovering from a knee replacement. He had some problems. They decided to replace his knee again. And Diane said he's going along pretty good. So we should see him at some point this year, we'll say. Okay? Hopefully sooner than later. Mark and Lynn Rogo. Lynn puts up with Mark for 49 years. She must be hard of hearing. Okay. And on May 17th, Mojdan and Lindsay, I can't pronounce the last name, Babian. I think that might, 9 years. And listen to this. May 1st, 2007, Tom Barron spent he's 18 years as a member. May 1st, Yang Shin, 2 years. And May 8th, 2025, Ethan Kim became a new member. Let's give them all a round of applause. So all of these special occasions, Terry knows to find you all. And what? Okay, so my God, there's a lot of money that's going in the coffer this month. Yes, sir.
When are we going to do the funeral?
Next, oh my God. Oh, you must be born in June. Oh my God. Okay, now we're talking. June 3rd, Bob Simon. June 7th, Matthew Ewan. June 9th, Janet Schwartz. June 17th, Marcia Day. June 19th, John O'Keefe. June 21st, Steve Sherrick. And June 22nd, Sharon Bradford. Okay, now the anniversaries. Jim and Eleanor Meyer, 64 years. That deserves a round of applause. All of my marriages together couldn't have 64 years. I'm working on it though. I should find. Would you want to pay a fine for 64 years, Jim? He says no. He says no. Then for sure we're going to fine him 64. On June 12th, Chris Bradford became a member 22 years ago. June 25th, John O'Keefe, 16 years. June 1st, Scott Whittle, 11. June 1st, Jim Meyer, 11. June 27th, Valeria Espinoza, 1 year. June 27th, Sam Boto, 1 year.
Benjamin?
Yes? Chris Bradford? Yeah, that's it. Everybody, that is amazing. That's a double fine. He's just going to write a big check. That's all. Okay? All right. Okay, so on June 9th from 6 to 7 p.m., there is a Peace Builders Zoom meeting. Everyone's invited. The link is posted on the Rotary5280.org. Come meet the director of the film. This is another way, following by a Q&A. So that's one. Again, the announcement that keeps on going, and that's going to be next weekend. How about that? That's going to represent our club. You never know what award I'll bring back. We may have an award. You never know. So June 12th through the 15th, I'll be gone. And Diane, would you come up and talk about not yet? It's about the Rose Parade. What? Okay, Marcia, can you make it brief, please?
Yes. I was just going to say that there is another way. That film is just amazing. I saw it a couple of months ago when they had another presentation of it, and the Q&A was like a life experience. So if you can possibly go to that on June 9th, please go.
Thank you, Marcia. Yes, Ed.
Once a year in June, I have a wedding anniversary. And once a year in June, you don't remember it. The club doesn't remember it. What's wrong with you guys?
Is it on Club Runner? Is it on? Okay. Ron Leister? Put the goddamn thing on, will you? No. I'm with you. When is your anniversary? When is your anniversary? How many years?
64 years.
Okay, everybody, let's stand up. Everybody stand up. Give them a round of applause. Come on. Come on, bro. Go. Wow. Okay, by the way, that's deserving of a fine. Are you happy to pay for a fine? Well, he made an announcement. I asked my people to get the darn thing. Now, Diane, do you want to talk about the Rose Parade Flow Committee? How about a Wyatt spot? Yeah, January 1st. Every year. We're having a preview of attractions, okay? I guess the floats don't get assembled. No, I guess the floats don't get assembled in one day would be the answer. Okay.
On the website.
Without further ado, I'm gonna read a special bio, and then I'm gonna introduce Bill to come up and introduce Debbie. But Shireen is very close friends with our speaker, and she sent this today. Debbie Holiday happens to be my dear friend of mine, so please and welcome her, of course. Although I will not be able to be here, of course she was. Fun facts. Debbie is a UCLA alum and a dual champion. She was part of the UCLA women's basketball team that won the 1978 AIAW National Championship. Excellent. The same year, she also won an AIAW Women's Softball World Series Championship.
Wow.
So the question I have, were you star on both teams? Okay, all right. And Debbie is also someone who has spent her life leading with integrity, mentoring with love, and teaching young athletes to grow and reach their potential. She continues to make a difference, serving and helping build young leaders. And so, Bill, come on up. And Debbie, you can follow him. And T, you want to do a shot of them? Okay.
I'm gonna switch. So when she's ready to play, she can just play it.
Okay, is that good? So you know you're ready to go after Bill. So Bill,
Thank you.
sorry to take all your thunder away.
No, you did great. We are very fortunate today to have this young woman with us.
I haven't been young for a long time, but okay, keep going.
I want to tell you a story how Debbie got to us.
I had a meeting with Martin Jordan, our athletic director, and I was talking about doing. Okay, sorry. I was talking about giving money to the teams for the NIL Westwood champions, and in the course of the conversation, she said, well, you don't need to give it to basketball and football. They got lots of money, which they do. But the Olympic sports are really good. And there's this organization called Project Westwood that you might want to look into that gives money to these teams. That's how I got involved with Corey Close. And she said, why don't you talk to Debbie Holiday and see what we could do about, you can do donations to the team, and then she'll tell you how the money is distributed to the different teams and the athletes. And it's a wonderful project that does wonderful things for the kids in different areas. And I think Debbie will do a wonderful job of telling us all about it. And here she is, Debbie Holiday.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you. See if I can, so you can hear me. How's that? Good? Okay. Yes, and it's so fun that Aaron's here. Didn't know that would happen. So he is someone that we work with. So it's really a great, it's a great mixture, and it's really fun to be here and experience your meeting. I'm a little concerned about the fines. So
How about if you join and we say we protect fines?
okay, except for on my birthday, I have to pay a fine.
Well, just because you're alive the next year.
Oh, it's a fine though? It should be okay.
Well, it's you know what it is.
I know, I'm just kidding. I love the fun in the room and the spirit in the room. So, yeah, it's really great to be here with you. And Shrin has been always talking to me about the work that you guys do. And so it's fun to put some faces with her world, it feels like to me. So yeah, so I am one of the things that I really love are the stories of our lives, and the ways that the stories of our lives start to cross and mix together. The story of Shrin's life and my life, two very different people came together and then separated and have come together again. And it's crazy how that happens, isn't it? That our stories are unfolding. I was thinking about that this morning, and how now my story and your story, our stories are crossing here. And I love that. So I want to tell you 3 stories today. So the first story has to do with being introduced. And I was a very young, kind of naive, I want to say, high aspirations, let's go do this, kind of a high school athlete in the 70s, which as a woman was a challenging time to be that person in the 70s. Title IX had just gotten passed when I started high school. And I graduated high school in 1977, and I got it in my head, which we do sometimes, right? We get it in our heads that this is what I wanted to do. I wanted to play for Billie Moore. Billie Moore was the 1976 Olympic coach for women's basketball, and she happened to be the head coach at UCLA. And I'm a little bit sad to say that I didn't come to UCLA for UCLA. I came to UCLA for Billie Moore, and I got UCLA. So that was a really good deal. As a matter of fact, I'm a lot more about UCLA now than I am about Billie Moore, though. She was my coach, and I love her, and she tortured me, but I'm okay. I recovered. So I came to UCLA. I had worked really hard in school, got accepted to the school, came to UCLA, and I walked on to the basketball team. I tried out, walked on, made the team. I'm not sure how familiar you are with UCLA women's basketball, the story of women's basketball, but the star at that time, was Ann Myers. Yeah. So Annie Myers was a senior my freshman year. And Denise Curry, do you know this name? These are the two jerseys that are retired up in the rafters of Pauley Pavilion. Denise Curry was the superstar freshman. Denise was the superstar freshman recruit, and I was the walk-on freshman who is that and why is she on the team? We came in at the same time, and Annie was our senior captain. And I had that privilege of coming into this group of amazing women and getting to be a part of a team with Ann Myers leading it. And she had such a huge impact on me. You can imagine, wide-eyed freshman, senior Ann Myers, who's Ann Myers, and we had a really good team. We had a really good team. And we went on. I was about maybe 7, came off the bench, came off the bench and played. I was kind of a utility person. I was, first of all, Annie's sub, so that kind of puts it in context. And then if anybody else was in foul trouble or something, I'd get in the game. This was my freshman year. The national championship was not under the NCAA because the NCAA didn't want anything to do with women's sports at that time. And that's really the only reason. There was an AIAW league conference overseeing organization instead of the NCAA in 1977, 78. The championship, the Final Four, was still the Final Four. The Final Four was in Pauley Pavilion. The script is set. Final Four is in Pauley Pavilion. The championship game is on Annie's birthday. I mean, talk about a story, right? This is the story of the 78 championship team, a group of 10 women, just 10 on that team, and we made it all the way through. We won the national championship that year. Yes, go Bruins. Denise Curry and I decided, I'm not real sure why, had a wild hair, decided to try out for softball. Denise, 6'1", all superstar basketball player Curry, who played some little bit of softball in her high school life, kind of as a relief from basketball, I think. And I love softball. So I was like, yes, let's do this. Tried out for softball. We both made that team. The captain, the senior captain on that team was Sue Inquist. So I don't know if you're as familiar with Sue Inquist, but she is also phenomenal leader in women's sports still. She's an amazing speaker. She's still doing speaking, helping coaches. She's right now, I think she's the mental trainer for the Olympic women's volleyball team. I'm pretty sure that she still works with them, but she's that level. So here I am again, still this freshman. I'm still pretty wide-eyed, but now I'm kind of like, yeah, let's go, let's do this. And I have Sue Inquist. I have Ann Myers. I have Sue Inquist. And I have these women training me up right from the very start of my college career. And one of our infielders got hurt on the softball team, and I ended up starting at second base that year. So I was the starting second baseman, walk-on the softball team, and we won the national championship at softball as well. Right? That's a pretty good story. That's the story of how I got connected with UCLA. And there are lots more stories you can imagine. There's lots more stories that go with that. Probably the highlight, besides these two amazing women, the other highlight for me in my life has been John Wooden. The anniversary of his death was, I think, yesterday, if I remember right. He became a mentor to me as a young coach. I coached high school for a long time. I coached at Biola University for 5 years, and he was a coaching mentor and a human mentor for many, many years, and spent a lot of hours in his apartment in Encino, just listening, right? You just hope he's going to start talking, and he would start telling poetry that he had memorized and all of the things. And so I came out of UCLA with this amazing training from these women, and with this person, John Wooden, who spoke into my life, taught me the pyramid of success, had a huge impact on who I was as a person. So that's deep in me. UCLA is deep in me. So then, fast forward, I met Corey Close when she was a grad assistant at UCLA. Couldn't tell you what year that was, maybe 30 years ago. We became friends when she was started to work here at UCLA and got her degree, and then she left and went back to UC Santa Barbara, went to Florida State, and we kept growing in our relationship. And I kept hoping and praying that she would come back to UCLA, and was so happy when she came back to be the coach here at UCLA. And I think it was in 2011 maybe, that she came to be the coach at UCLA. And she's done a phenomenal job, just as you said, and she's very involved with the YMCA as well. And I came to work for Corey in 2013, worked with her for 6 years, and we kept adding to my job description until it was just time for me to do more. I wanted to do more than what we were doing. And so from that time with Corey, I would say the inspiration there was, what is it that's in you to do? What is it that's in you to do? If this place isn't exactly the right fit, then what is there that's in you to do? And that's from that is where the West Project was born, was from working in the program, working with the student athletes, working with her and the other coaches, and deciding that it's time for us to launch this nonprofit so that we can replicate some of what's happening here in other places. And really the model of it has been to have college athletes use their influence for younger athletes. To use the platform, so to speak, for them to influence younger athletes. So you see the pictures that Aaron's talking about where we have a clinic at the YMCA and the athletes come in and they teach the kids, and you have Kiki Rice with the little girl with her jersey on, which is a lot different when I was playing. There was no finding anybody's number or anything in the store. And now it's changed a lot so that these girls they can get the gear, and these girls are really phenomenal role models for the younger ones. And it's really very a joy for me to watch someone like Kiki or like Lauren Betts, who's 6'7", 6'8", come into these settings and see these little kids and be able to work with them. And they literally look up to them, but in looking up to them, they're also kind of experiencing what I did with Annie and Sue, of having someone that I can really see doing something that I want to do, and becoming someone who are becoming someone who I want to be like them. And they're great role models for that. So the idea of the West Project has been that, and then also to find ways to impact other places in the community. So some of the work that we've done has been with the YMCA, and I'm going to let them tell the story a little bit with this video. That's from the players at UCLA and what they've been doing. So I think I just push play.
I genuinely do love doing community service, and that's been instilled in me since a young age, but I think I've grown to love it even more, especially doing it with my teammates, because we've made so many memories together.
We're here in Paris doing a wonderful short clinic with girls, local girls from really under-resourced backgrounds. Most of these young girls were refugees from North Africa, and we had an opportunity to cross the barriers of language and maybe backgrounds and teach the game we love, and hopefully love on these young girls.
We've done many amazing different types of community service, including recycling, the Dream Center, visiting different kids in Hawaii and that sort of thing. And it's just truly impacted the way I view the world and the way we can use our privilege and our status. And I've just really enjoyed being able to give back and meet different kinds of people and see their walks of life. And it's been super, super gratifying.
I love the ones that you actually get to interact with others, I think, because you get to see the smiles that you put on their faces, and especially if it's kids too, they probably might never have this experience again. And like, if I could just give a mom or a dad a 10-minute break, like, let me help you, like.
waking up every day understanding that, you know, I get to do this, I get to play basketball for a living, I get to, you know, go out and give back to communities that don't have the ability to do that themselves. And that is just something that I think this program is built on and built around, and I'm thankful that I get to be a part of that. And I just get excited, you know, when new opportunities come our way. We spend so much time, you know, writing thank you cards, and I've been to Mexico a lot of times, and we even did a clinic in Paris where we just spent an hour or two playing with, you know, girls who probably have never experienced something like that in their lives. And I think sometimes we forget how much of an impact we can have on other people. And again, I'm just grateful that we have the opportunity to make a positive impact.
So great. So you can see with Corey that the culture of the program is to serve and to have the athletes' hearts affected by the work that they're doing in the community, so that there's more to their experience there than winning championships, though they're definitely chasing those down as well. And so with the West Project, their philosophy, Corey's philosophy, really fits with what we're trying to do too. And so you see in some of those videos that they're wearing these shirts. We have these t-shirts. They say the West Project on the front. And West is walking every season together. So we want to walk with people through whatever they're going through. We want to walk with these athletes as they're growing, with these coaches as they're learning. And then on the back it says let's play, or we play, jugamos. And then I'm not going to try to say the French one that we've added for the Paris clinic. But we feel like there's so much power in play. Aaron talked about the stats for girls that participate in sports. And I love their vision of keeping those girls in sports, because it's absolutely true. And the reasons that they drop out are reasons that can be addressed and helped and fixed. And so I love the work that they're doing. And it's so much fun to bring the West Project in partnership with them as well. Some of the work that they did is not West Project work. You saw they were in Hawaii and they were in their UCLA gear and they're doing the clinic with the kids and playing with the kids. The work that's partnered with the West Project, we've used that, as Bill was saying, to leverage the name, image, likeness that has come into college athletics now. I kind of feel like it's redeeming it a little bit, where the donors donate to the West Project, and we turn 90% of that money around and hire the athletes to be brand ambassadors for the West Project. And we pay them for the work that they do in the community and the way that they represent us on their social media. Some of these kids have a lot of people with their eyes on them. And so it gives our brand even more exposure. And so the third story that I would say is the story that's not written yet. The story that's still coming, where we're looking to replicate what we're doing at UCLA and other places. We're talking to coaches at Vanderbilt. We're talking to coaches on the East Coast, starting to work with high schools, with coaches that want to bring community service into the work that they're doing. Sometimes it'll involve brand ambassadors and money, and sometimes it just involves facilitating a way for it to happen. So, for example, we traveled with Point Loma Nazarene, which is a Division II school, a little bit smaller. Went to Costa Rica with them. One of my athletes from when I was coaching high school lives in Costa Rica and works at a school, and we did a clinic in Costa Rica that was led by the college athletes with Point Loma. And I raised the money for me to go and do that trip with them. So it wasn't anything involving NIL or something like that. It was really more just the pure joy of bringing college athletes to younger kids and giving them that opportunity and helping them learn how to serve and give back from what they have. So I feel like it's still important to dream, you know, even at my age and even at my stage of life, maybe even more important for us to dream of what's still out there for me to do, what's still out there for us to do that we haven't done yet, and to take those steps and to go figure out how to do it. And so I feel a lot of excitement about the future opportunities and the stories that are still out there to get written, and love that you guys care so much about what's happening in the world around us, and that you're here and that you're doing stuff and that you're invested in it. So it's a joy to be able to be with you and share a little bit of what we're doing with the West Project. And if you have any questions, I'm glad to answer too. So.
It sounds like you're doing service projects in different places, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Is there a project that we can participate in going forward?
It's a great question. I would say two things come to mind right away. You heard, I think Charlize mentioned that she's been to Mexico numerous times. There's a girls' home in Tijuana that is about 10 minutes across the border that an organization runs to bring girls out of, they don't have foster care in Mexico. And so if you're in an abusive situation as a child, or if you're abandoned and alone or a true orphan, then you're put in a place that's more like a prison for kids than it is a home. And so their vision is to create homes for these kids, and they feel like the needy, most vulnerable maybe are the ones that are teenage girls that are not necessarily going to be adopted and are vulnerable to other things. And so they've created this home for girls. I trust these people because I've worked with them for 25 plus years, and this is I think it's their third year doing this home. Corey wanted to have a place that she knows about me and how I feel about going down to Mexico and helping the kids down there. And so it was just the perfect connection of bringing these college athlete women, strong and confident, into this home. And you saw some of those pictures were of like the girls looking at London. They called her the little one. Is the little one coming? Miss Debbie is the little one coming. Now she's over at SC, so I might have to go get her now and say, London, you need to come back to Mexico, even as a Trojan. Okay, we can do this still. But that would be one thing, I think, if you're interested in a home for girls in Mexico, if that's something that resonates with you, we can sure talk about what that would look like, because they have plenty of needs. They have plenty of needs. Some of them very practical and simple. We took toilet paper down there last time we went, so it's not like millions of dollars, but they need support. The second one is a new organization here in LA that I'm just starting to work with. They do after school care especially for kids who are autistic, marginalized in some way, using sport as therapeutic for them. And so that's a group that I'm just starting to get involved with, but it might be something that you're interested in. As that develops out, we can keep talking about that. Yeah.
You referred to the clinics in Paris, California, or Paris, France?
Paris, France. Yeah, so that's one of the things that we have on our dream list is international clinics. One of our board members has contacts that is on the ground. They're on the ground in Paris, France. And so when the team was scheduled to go to Paris to play, I think they played Louisville in Paris as their opening game this last season. We started talking around this time, maybe even earlier, about what would it look like to do a clinic in Paris with these kids that are there as they've been there with their families as refugees. And so I want to connect us with people who are staying and doing the work. And so we come in to encourage them. Like Aaron, we want to come in and encourage him and his staff in what they're doing. We're not there every day on the grind like he is, but if we can come and encourage him, then when we leave, that keeps going and it keeps growing, and then we'll come back. And so that's what we're trying to do. Like in Paris with these kids that are in this system, it's a girls' basketball league for the refugee girls. And those people, I think they rode the train for about an hour and a half and brought their group of kids to the practice facility where UCLA women's basketball is practicing, and we ran a free clinic for them with the players as the West Project, and then we paid the players for running that clinic. It's kind of a win-win, I think, for them. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I'll add this little bit. We named the clinic the Jan Cloyd Memorial Clinic because Jan, I don't know do you all know Jan Cloyd? She's in this community, was a really important person in the Westwood UCLA community. So yeah, it's good to say her name out loud.
Any other questions? Yes.
the female athletes, are done with their athletic careers? What do they typically do at Privis?
In general? Yeah, probably a wide variety of things. At this level, a lot of them are wanting to play professionally, and the WNBA is growing. I would say we have some of the girls on this team. Lauren Betts might be the #1 pick in the WNBA draft this year. So they're not just pie in the sky dreams. They're very real opportunities to play professionally now. Here in the States with the WNBA and then overseas as well, there's growing opportunities for them to play professionally overseas. But there are also all different other things that they have in mind. And it's one of the things I really love about Corey is she really pushes them not to just be like, I'm going to be a professional athlete, but to develop their other areas of interest. So they're not just checking the box to go to school and get a UCLA degree. They're actually asking them all the questions of what is it you're interested in? What's next for you? She uses the term, when the ball goes flat, what are you going to do with your life? And so they're stirring up inside of them, like, what really matters to you? I know, like, Charlize Ledger-Walker, she's from New Zealand, and she's being taught how to build her brand so she can go back to New Zealand to build a whole system for girls in New Zealand to grow in their basketball skills and come play in the States if they want to. This is her thing. Like, she is so excited about that. Leadership focused. Yeah. So helping them discover what it is they want to do. So I don't think there's any consistent path, These women are multi-talented, so there's lots of different things that they could do. A lot of them are interested in broadcasting, professional sports. We have some fashionistas who are all about going into fashion when they finish with their sports. So.
From your observation, as somewhat of an insider, what difference has it made in women's sports with these changes in the licenses and naming rights and so on that the athletes now are entitled to claim as their own income stream?
Yeah, what is the impact?
Yeah.
Well, I think there's a positive impact in the stress of money is less than it used to be. When I was an athlete, we were talking about that we were excited when we would score 100 points, there'd be free Taco Bell certificates that they would hand out to the crowds. And after we got out of the locker room, we would go and look and try to find them because we weren't getting them because they were handed out to the crowd when we were athletes. So the stress of I think you heard Charlize say, I play basketball for a living. And so in their mind now, this is their job, this is their career, and they're being paid for it. That's a positive. On the downside, not everyone is getting paid for it. And how you manage a team setting where this player, the Texas Tech softball pitcher, is making $1 million. And I want to know how that is for the rest of the team. Are they just really happy for her? Or are they like, where's my $100,000? So it creates an interesting dynamic within the teams of how do you keep teams together. And I think that's one of the reasons you see these players transferring more, is that they're looking for more opportunities instead of staying where they are, even if it's hard, and being content with what they have. So as a teacher, coach, I'm like all about trying to help them. That's why I love taking them to Mexico, trying to help them realize what they have and not become entitled and greedy, but to be content with what they have and to work hard on their relationships and all of those kinds of things. Those are the values of the West Project that we're trying to teach as we do this community service. And I love working with a coach like Corey because we're in alignment of what she's trying to teach them as well.
We have time for one more question. Anybody have one? Well, if not, whoops, I'm going to trip on this. We at Westwood Village always give our speaker a little gift. So we want to thank you for participating here. And what I want to say to you personally, I like your mission. I feel with you. And I would like you to have that chair right next to me permanently.
You want me to come back?
And I want you to come back. Okay. I want you to be a member.
My membership started on June 5th, 2025. See how many years we can
How about that? How about that? Good job.
Thank you very
We'll
much.
talk
Thank
about
you
it.
very
We'll
much.
talk
We'll
about
talk,
it.
we'll talk, we'll talk.
As I said before, every speaker is a potential Rotary member. Remember that. So when we schedule speakers, think about, could they impact our club? Next meeting, Bill Rowan. You want to talk about this individual? Because you're so connected here. You're going to introduce her next week? Oh, she's not. Oh, okay. Of July. Well, we have a little boo-boo there. Okay. Vanessa's not speaking next week. Okay. Well, I'm sure there's whoever that person is, we'll welcome them next week. And with that, our meeting is adjourned. Yeah.